It is 7:42, 18 minutes away from 8 o'clock as we wrap up Marvelous Monday with Learn the Faith. And Tim O'Neill has joined us here in the St. Gabriel studio. He has a new tool that Catholics can look forward to using called Chatechism.
Do we have that right?
Chatechism.
All right.
Excellent. So
Thank you.
what can Catholics look forward to when they encounter Catechism?
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks for having me.
Sure.
It's super awesome to be here in the mothership, so to speak. It's excellent. So thanks for giving me the opportunity. If I may just share a little bit about Catechism's mission and vision, and I think that might help inform what folks can look forward to. I think, it doesn't take a church historian, I'm certainly not one, to recognize that the church has always gone to where the people are. Mm-hmm. And I think throughout 2 millennia, we've explored different ways to do that. As we advance as a society, as we grow in things like technology, we have new and exciting ways to preach the gospel, to bring the truth, the goodness, and the beauty of the church to the people. So you look at everything from way back in the day when folks would traverse the Roman roads and have conversations with one another. So more of that oral tradition, more modern innovation like the printing press, certainly Catholic radio like Salt and Light, the internet, TV. Like these are all ways we've tried to bring the good news to people. And with the advent of artificial intelligence, I think this is just another new and exciting way where we can accomplish that mission to bring the good news to the people. So in terms of what Chatechism brings to the table, essentially we're a Catholic Q&A application where folks can bring their Catholic questions to the app and then get sourced answers and follow-up questions and courses of study to really help them immerse themselves in the faith. So I guess in its simplest way, what people can expect from Chatechism is a tool in their tool belt to explore the Catholic faith and to really grow in knowledge.
With answers they can trust.
That's right. Yes.
Versus Google, where it's kind of a crapshoot.
That is.
Is this true, Google? Is it not?
Yeah. Exactly. And that was also the kind of impetus for Chatechism is kind of a selfish desire, honestly, is that like we've all been in that situation where you bring a question to Google or Bing or your favorite search engine, and you've got like 4,000 pages to sift through. Sometimes your answer's on the first page, sometimes it's on the last page. Sometimes it's kind of a collection of the pages. Mm-hmm. And then, inevitably, especially on like weighty issues like faith and morals, we're left wondering, like, is this real? Is it accurate? Is it the right answer? So I think AI provides us with a powerful opportunity to get fast access to information that in the context of Chatechism is sourced. So it gives people the opportunity to dive deeper and kind of go to the...
What does that mean for people who don't know? Like that it's sourced specifically?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of chatter about AI,
Absolutely.
and there's a lot of folks out there, me being one of them, I don't know that I can trust it.
Very leery Brian is about AI.
Yeah. My daughter, Isabella, shout out to Isabella, who's been on this show before.
Yes, she has.
Yes.
Good morning,
So
Isabella.
good morning, Isabella. She too is a little skeptical of AI, and I can totally appreciate that. I think any of us that have used tools like ChatGPT or Grok or some of these, more commercial tools that are hitting the market, AI can sound very confident in answering a question, but you as the user aren't always in a place where you can be assured that the information is correct. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by sourced is every answer with Chatechism has inline citations and then a corresponding citation block. So whether it's an encyclical or an apostolic exhortation or a council document or scripture, you know exactly where the AI is getting its source material from to answer your question. And I'm a trust but verify kind of guy. You can always double click on the source and go to the source material yourself. And in fact, I think that's what people ought to do, to foster that critical thinking and further study. But you're never left wondering, how did I get this answer through AI? Yeah.
Right. But Wikipedia told me it was true.
That's right.
Right? So listeners, don't trust Wikipedia. How can AI impact our faith? How can this be a great way to enrich our faith?
Yeah, great question. I think for me, I can speak through my personal lived experience, is that our faith is something that we have, it's like a muscle, I think. You have to put it into practice, you have to use it, you have to feed it. And I think that comes a lot with seeking knowledge and understanding. So for me, I think understanding what the church teaches and why it teaches that and getting to kind of have a conversation, so to speak, around a given topic and dive deeper, that goes a long way, I think. Faith is a lived experience, and it's something obviously we experience through our beautiful church and the liturgy and the sacraments, but it's also kind of something we experience in our mind. And I think to really fully immerse yourself in the faith, it's understanding it and knowing it. And Catechism, I think, is a tool that helps us accomplish that.
Awesome.
So there might be somebody out there listening and they say, oh, great, one more app on my phone. How would somebody use this? Maybe in a day-to-day type thing or week-to-week? What pops up in daily life where it's like, you know what, I need that Chatechism app?
Yeah, great question. In fact, my wife and I are beginning to joke with one another like, oh, this is a question for Catechism, break it out. But I think that is very telling. It's how we all work. Around a campfire, hopefully we don't have phones at the dinner table, but maybe over dessert, if somebody were to have a question. Yeah. You've all been in this situation where it's like, oh, what church council taught such and such, or what does the Catechism teach about the sacraments? Oh, well, let's dive into that. So I think it's a very situational, a very collaborative app that you can use with people around in any given situation. It's kind of that spur of the moment, I have a question. Right. Of course, it could be used for deeper study and reflection too, kind of on your own, but I think it's just something that accompanies you throughout your day.
How is it different from other Catholic apps or AI development tools? How is this unique?
Yeah. So I would say similar in a lot of ways. I'll start with kind of what we have in common is I think that Catholic Q&A, what we all probably have experienced through a tool like ChatGPT, for example. You ask a question, you get an answer. I think that's where the overlap is. Where I think Catechism is a little bit different, I would say, in two areas. We are kind of source obsessed. I don't want an answer provided to people without a source.
Right.
I think we've put a lot of work into making sure that Catechism delivers answers with cited sources. And if it doesn't, which is rare, it will tell you. So you should, as the user, you should know this is purely AI generated. And I would say, buyer beware. Double click on that, read more. But every answer is accompanied with a source. So I think that's a distinguishing factor. The other thing I'd say is that I would be very careful to tell people to use AI. Let's not experience our faith through a glowing screen, right? Mm-hmm. We are meant to be in community with people. We are meant to collaborate with people. In fact, Pope Leo's recent encyclical Magnificat Humanitas speaks to this, is that our faith is meant to be lived with others, right? So I think what we're trying to do with Catechism is introduce features that encourage collaboration with others, encourage study with others. So our iPhone app, I was very disappointed that I couldn't have it in ready for today's show, but it's coming soon. It's got about a week left in app review. Some of the features we're introducing on the app will afford people the opportunity to enter into study rooms with their friends and have conversations and share source material, share Catechism provided answers, and just encourage a deeper dialogue and discussion. We kind of on the funner side of things, we have a feature called Chatechism Challenge, where it's kind of like Catholic trivia. You can play with friends. Yeah. I
don't have an Apple phone, so I will have to wait the long slog for the Android version.
We are on the web, so Chatechism.ai. You can use it on your laptop. You can use it on a mobile device. But yeah, we're really excited about the mobile app.
So you'd brought up like the new evangelization, and I think when St. John Paul II kicked this off way back when, he probably had no idea that we would be where we're at here in the 21st century. But how can something like Catechism actually support the new evangelization rather than maybe undermining it like some skeptics might think?
Yeah. Oh, it is such an amazing question. I think it was JP2 where we started to hear about this concept of the new evangelization. And I think Benedict continued it in his papacy. Pretty much what the new evangelization recognizes is that, broadly speaking, we have kind of two categories of people that require evangelization. There are those that have maybe already received the good news and the light of the faith, but for whatever reason it's atrophied or maybe gone unnourished for whatever reason. And then there's people who have not yet received the good news and need that. So what the new part of the new evangelization recognizes is that it's kind of how I opened up, is that as societies evolve and we innovate and we have new technological things at our disposal, the church must be in that space. We need to take every kind of avenue we can to propagate the faith and bring people into the fold. So AI being probably the newest of those inventions, so to speak, we need to be there and we need to be using it. In Magnificat Humanitas, Leo kind of harkens back to this new evangelization. He says, we must consider the digital world as a new continent to be evangelized. I get goosebumps reading that because I think it speaks to this vast opportunity that we have through digital means. I mean, radio being one of them. You can reach so many people this way. And I think AI is going to pour gasoline on that fire. And there's such an opportunity there for us.
Well, today we celebrate
exciting.
Saints Peter and Paul. This is their feast day. Can you imagine if they would have had Catholic radio
Right.
2,000 years ago?
Right? Yeah. The internet, something more advanced than papyrus.
Yeah, that's right. Papyrus. I love it.
No, but it's very exciting. So now I'm on Chatechism.ai. I bookmarked it so I can have it for all of my questions in the future. But it's lovely to look at. It's aesthetically pleasing, which I appreciate, because some AI is stuff your question here and see what happens. It's no, this is lovely. Your eyes can rest. Then you can choose these different options if you want to filter from the get-go. I love how you can have the voice of Aquinas or voice of a parish catechist, voice of a spiritual director to be able to channel that in a different way. If you want to go nerdy, right, you pick Aquinas. Yeah. If you want to go easy on your brain, choose your parish catechist. Right. I love these options.
Thank you.
That's really fun.
Excellent.
So when Apple approves it, sometime in the next week or so, how should people get a hold of the app?
Yeah, great question. So hopefully when you went to Chatechism.ai, you were greeted with a pop-up that said, our iPhone app is coming soon. So I would encourage your listeners, if they are interested, we won't spam you, I promise, although we might reach out from time to time. Go to Chatechism.ai, fill out that pop-up. It's just your first name, last name, and email. And the minute we're in the App Store, Salt and Light listeners will be some of the first to know.
Hooray!
And for your listeners at that time, we will send an email with a promo code for 1 free month of our highest tier of Catechism usage. So you can enjoy all the Catechism features on the app at your leisure. So I'd say that's probably the easiest.
So what are the bonus features for members?
Yeah, so we have 3 basic tiers of use. There is a free account called Venerable. You might see where this is going. There is a paid account for $4.99 called Blessed. And then there is what we call a canonized account, which is $7.99 a month. And basically what you're getting throughout each of those tiers is access to more questions that you can ask. Some of you may be familiar with this in using apps like ChatGPT, where after a while you kind of time out. So there's kind of a tiered utilization there.
Right, because AI isn't free. As much as they say, this is all free, it's not.
Yes.
It's not.
Yeah, there is.
And your efforts, and Garrett, we want to give him some credit here, as co-creators of this, the effort is not small. So we appreciate
Thank you.
That's huge effort.
Thank you. And then, with Blessed, you'll get things like a daily reading reflection that is AI generated. And I know that might rub some people the wrong way, but again, it takes the daily readings and then it will kind of retrieve adjacent source material. So maybe an encyclical or an exhortation or some teaching document of the church that ties back to that day's reading. I think it's helpful, maybe a form of mass preparation, or if you just want some reflection material after the daily reading. And then with Canonized, we have features like the study rooms and a guided study application and some other cool stuff. Yeah.
That's fantastic. So we have very little time left. What are your last thoughts you want to share with our listeners?
Yeah, well, again, thank you for having me, and I'm glad you gave Garrett a shout out. Garrett's been my trusty co-founder on this application from day one. Devoted Catholic, husband, father of 4. He's an outstanding guy. So thanks, Garrett, if you're listening. Appreciate your help here. I would just encourage people to continue to learn your faith, continue to immerse yourself in the truth, goodness, and beauty that is the Catholic faith. And we hope that you'll use Chatechism.ai as a way to do that.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
That wraps up Marvelous Monday. Go to saltandlightradio.com later today and click on the Morning Light page if you missed any of today's show or previous programs.
If you watch the show on YouTube, we appreciate that very much. Share that with everyone you know. Visit our website for all of the upcoming events in the diocese. Thank you to our guests today, Melissa Hemphill, Adam and Valerie Work, and Tim O'Neill.